Hi, a very good evening to all of you. Today we are going to discuss this particular question. Some people think that government should spend more money on sports facilities for top athletes. Others argue that this money should be spent for sport facilities for ordinary people. Discuss both sides and give your own opinion. So, from the question, we can understand this is an opinion question, which we have two arguments. So we have to discuss the first view and the second view, and then we have to give your own personal viewpoint. Anyway, you have to give your personal viewpoint. The same time, you need to discuss the first view and the second view in detail in the paragraphs. So what exactly the steps are? First, I'm going to understand each word of the question. So it is very important for a candidate to understand each word and the essence of each word of the question. Second thing is that you have to comprehend the question and understand what exactly the question asks you to do. So this is the second task. Now, I am not going into the third step. First, I'm going for the first step. Some people, not all, think, they believe governments, the states or nations should spend strongly recommended more money. Yeah, now this is the turning point here. More money. So the question, the statement says that they are getting money. They are getting money. The top athletes are getting money on sports facilities, but they need more money, something more, that this word has to be focused. More money is needed for top athletes. This is what the first argument is. So if you don't identify the importance of this particular word, you might have a wrong task response. So we have task response, cohesion, coherence, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy as our marking criteria. So you might have a weak task response if you don't identify the importance of this particular word. So I identified that. That's why I told you that each word has to be given utmost importance. And then I have to comprehend as a question. Others argue that this money should be spent for sports activities for ordinary people. So you know that the money, this money, in the sense government is planning to give some money, and this money should be spent on sports facilities for ordinary people. Now that the common public needs some facilities, so they should spend money on this particular area. So I got. So they are not telling that they're not telling that government should spend more money on sports facilities. They're not telling that they should not spend money on top athletes. They are telling that no problem, you can spend money on sports, on providing sports facilities for the top athletes. But we are telling that more money should not be spent on the sports facilities for top athletes. Instead, that money should be spent on developing the sports facilities of the common public. So this is what this thing is. Now, I understood the question. So I have to discuss both these. Having analyzed this thing, I have told, I align to the first view. Top athletes needs focus. This is what my opinion is. I have written in such a way that the first view is to be given importance. Now, the topic is given, the topic is addressed. It's a debatable topic because it's an argument. I use the word debatable. As similarly, I can use controversial topic. It's a must discuss the topic, discussable topic. I can use some words like that. It's a debatable topic whether a nation should assist the top athletes with more money or to allot money for enhancing sports facilities for the common people. It's a topic of discussion. It's a topic of that it's a topic of controversy. It's a controversial topic, whether to do this or that. I tend to align with the first view. So I am going ahead with the first view as it is more productive and economical for the government. It's more productive and economical for the government. So this is what we have seen in the first particular response. Now I am going to see the paragraphs. What I have seen is that I went with the first view. So if I am aligning to the first view, this is my view, that view should be written there in the second point. Now, it should not be written in the first paragraph. So the others, this is written here. So if I go with the second, argument, I'll be writing the second argument there. So you know that there is some difference there in organizing the particular, just a minute, please. Sorry, wait a minute. Okay. Now, sorry for the disturbance. Now, I can see the first particular paragraph. The prime reason why some argue that money should be spent on meeting the sporting needs of general public is because of the visible inadequacies of people living in both urban and rural areas. You have seen in both urban and rural areas, we have visible inadequacies. People, the general public has problems. Okay, in case of those who live in cities, this is the prime reason. So in case of those who live in the cities, they don't have enough facilities to do exercise or sports. So it's important for the government to fulfill their needs rather than spending huge amount of money on meeting their health needs. Now, why is this given health needs? So, you know that if I am not giving importance to the exercise, if I am not giving importance to the physical activities of the people, governments will be having a lot of less productive people, those who have affected with problems, lifestyle diseases, morbid population. We will be having a lot of people who are incapable, unhealthy population. So we will not be having a productive population. The government will be suffering that. So it's the responsibility of the government to meet the physical, the sporting activities, the facilities like exercise for the general public. If it is not there, there will be more people with diseases. And what happens is that government has to spend more money for treating the disease. So the health sector, you need more funding for the health sector there. Now, to avoid such situation, we need to give enough facilities for the public, like stadiums, swimming pools, jogging ways and all. Now, similarly, in rural areas, the many unidentified and talented sports persons who can be brought into the center only when they are identified and given appropriate guidance. Now, I have something here. In rural areas, there are many unidentified and talented persons. Now, I just cancel off this thing. There are many talented sports persons who can be brought to the center only when they are identified and given appropriate guidance. That many of these people are not identified. There are many talented sports persons, those who have talents in some activities, sports or games. They're there in the rural areas. They need to be isolated. They need to be found out, and we need funding for that, so that we have to identify them and give them proper guidance, so we can bring them to the mainstream. So this is what the first paragraph is about. And when we go ahead with the second paragraph, I can say, analyzing the viewpoint of the first group. Now, the first group, it's clear that they recommend more money because of the lack of support, of the top athletes receive. Now, the top athletes receive lack of support. Now, I give an example. Many eminent sports persons struggle. The irony is that a few are over-focused. That a selected top athletes, some people may criticize top athletes don't need financial assistance because they are acting in commercials, adverts, they are brand ambassadors, they're celebrities, they tell. But actually this applies to a smaller proportion of top athletes. That not every top athletes are celebrities. That some of the top athletes, even they don't have money to buy their equipment for the sports. So that there are top athletes, they are struggling, they struggle, they have financial problems, they have requirements. Some of them don't have enough practicing facilities. Some of them, they don't have scientific equipment. Some of them don't have the atmosphere. Some of them don't have the right coaches or the standard coaches. So that they need a lot of money to do all these things. So when this thing comes, now they can win a lot of medals and bring pride to the country. So this is what we can say. Now we can say that economic liability of the government to carry out the task comparatively lower than the other thing. So if I am providing sporting facilities to general public, I need to spend an exorbitant sum of money there. But actually when it comes to top athletes, they are very selective. You need very less amount of money to do that. So actually, when this particular area comes, the government's economic liability is less. So I can say, I've said in the thesis paragraph, it is productive for the government, it is economical for the government. So I have seen that it's productive and economical for the government. So that's what we have said. It's productive, that they bring pride to the country if they are given proper guidance with proper money. And the second thing is that comparatively you have very less expenditure. The state has very less expenditure there. Now when I move ahead with the conclusion, this is conclusion plus opinion. That my opinion is included in the conclusion here in this particular essay. So I can point out, I believe, this is my opinion, it's clear that public need adequate sporting facilities, especially in a country with a growing population. In a country with growing population, it's almost a summary there. Public need adequate sporting facilities. No, though it's a necessity. It's very clear to do that. But I believe the top athletes have to be given more focus. They have to be given more focus. That no problem, you can go ahead and go ahead with some facilities for the general public. It's necessary, but the time but I believe that more focus should be given to the top athletes. Because they can reflect the sporting pride of a country to the world easily. Now they are the identities, they are the icons. So they can say, even in case of basketball, we have international figures from America. So in golf we have, so in car race, in Formula One we have. So certain countries, they are pride, they are top, they are top. So I'm not telling of this particular thing. Here the question is asked about the athletes. So I have not mentioned any name of the athletes or any game I have not given there, but I can say when these international athletes, we can say from Usain Bolt is from Jamaica. So Jamaicans have they can be proud in front of the world, because they show, they prove the world, their athletes, their top athletes are the fastest in the world. Kenyans have proven that their athletes are, they have a lot of stamina. They can run marathon, they can run kilometers and kilometers. So Kenyans are top in case of marathon. These African countries, the Caribbean countries like Jamaica, they told they are the fastest. So you know that some countries are proud of their top athletes. Now they are, because they reflect the sporting pride of the country, they have to be given more focus. This is what actually I mean in the first particular response. And we do have another response, the opposite side, and we do have a quick look on this thing. So in this particular response, I have given just the opposite, the second view, because I'm going to give you give the general public importance rather than the top athletes. Let's see how it works out. We have just changed this particular sentence there. The introduction is exactly the same. The first part is exactly the same. It's just a copy, but we have made a change in this part. This is the thesis statement. I'm told that the second view has slightly more weightage than the first in the current scenario. In the current scenario, we have the second view more weightage. Now, the prime reason why the former group demands more money to top athletes is because of the fact that they're more likely to uphold the pride of the country by winning competitions. Now, why this paragraph comes first is that my opinion is the other view. I'm going ahead with top athletes. That's why I have written that in the second paragraph. That's why I have written the second argument here. Here, the first argument here in this thing, so top athletes. Yeah, top athletes. So this is represented here, and this is represented here. This is the point I am going to align to. So I made it in the second paragraph. So these athletes struggle. They can be given, if they are given international practice, world-class coaches, they can transform to promising athletes. But they need, the fact is that they need a huge sum of money, and at present many such athletes are falling short of that. So it's very simple. We have said there are a lot of economic struggles for these top athletes, because this is a situation. So they need some money. Very simple presentation there. Now I am going ahead with the second particular paragraph. On the other hand, conversely, there exists a group of people who think that government's totally neglecting the sport desires of common public. So some of the people, they believe that the state is completely ignoring the sporting needs of the common public. Now they have given examples like, to be clear, there are more urban population who has very less facility to stretch their bodies. So they need jogging tracks, they need stadiums, they need swimming pools and public parks. Similarly, in rural areas, there are many unidentified and talented sports persons. They can be brought to the center only when they are identified and given appropriate guidance. The point is exactly the same, what we have mentioned there. And what we are mentioning here is almost the same, but the weightage is So I have balanced the weightage. Here I have given weightage to the general public. So they can vote. So they need governmental support for both financially and politically. So I have given slight more weightage to this particular, the green highlight part. And here I have separated my opinion and conclusion. In the first particular response, I have integrated my opinion and conclusion. This way also you can write. You can adopt this way too. So I recommend this way, the second way, because it has to be separate. Your opinion and explanation should be separate, and conclusion should be separate. So you can do in either way, no problem. In my opinion, extra money to top athletes can be generated by sponsorships and voluntary assistance from public. Many companies have seen sponsoring famous athletes as part of their promotion. You know, the top athletes can get voluntary assistance. But now that the general public, they won't be getting any monetary benefits from anyone. So that's the thing. So I told the important should be the assistance should be given to the general public. And the conclusion is given. It's clear that more financial assistance is needed to top athletes to perform better, and there are alternate ways to generate this. However, this is not true in the case of the general public. So that's the end of the explanation right now.